with coverage you can count on. This is the Erie News NOWCAST.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Haley Potter. Thanks for joining us for your Erie News Now Weekend Nowcast. This afternoon, at least 10 people are dead and 31 missing as a result of flooding in Tennessee's Humphreys County. Officials say 2 of the bodies recovered were those of 2 toddlers who were swept away from their father. A curfew is in effect and shelters are open at schools and churches. They're saying no one should travel unless it's absolutely necessary. Additionally, the Tennessee Emergency Management Agency has activated a level 3 state of emergency as a result of this flooding. Henri was downgraded Sunday from a hurricane to a tropical storm, but heavy rain continues to hammer the tri-state area and New England. Flash flood and storms surge warnings remain in effect. State of emergency declared in New York, Connecticut ahead of the hurricane's arrival. And Sarah Tonks joins us live now with an update on these storms. So Sarah, what's going on right now?
Hi there, Haley. Well, what we're keeping a close eye on right now is Henri is approaching landfall. It hasn't made it just yet, but it will be making landfall in a couple of hours as a strong tropical storm. So it's no longer a hurricane, but it does still have some very strong winds and heavy rain. Now here's a look at Doppler max right now. You can see that rotation. You can see the center of rotation getting closer to land. And you can see that New York area, which has already gotten a lot of rain, is still getting hammered. Now there are tropical storm warnings issued for a lot of the area. That's that red color. Everywhere that's not is under a flash flood warning. So heavy rains, heavy winds, and then there's a small craft advisory that's been issued off of the New England coast. Any boaters are most likely either coming in, taking their boats out of the water, and preparing for some very strong winds. Now looking at those wind gusts right now, these are just a couple data points. We're seeing gusts up to 40 miles per hour at some of these locations, but we've also seen reports of wind gusts up to 60, 75 miles per hour as this storm kind of makes its way inland. And you can see that it is very close to landfall. That center of rotation is almost at the Rhode Island, Connecticut border. Now looking at the storm surge values, it's been downgraded very slightly from 5 feet to 4 feet for your maximum, but that is still enough to do some damage, especially when combined with heavy winds and or heavy tides. Something to definitely keep a close eye on because that could still cause a lot of damage for low-lying areas. And then moving into Henri's forecast, by Monday 8 a.m. we're expecting it to downgrade from a tropical storm into a tropical depression. And at that point it's going to pass through Vermont, through New Hampshire, and then off the coast of Maine. So kind of impacting Casco Bay and coastal Maine areas by Tuesday morning. Here's a look at Tuesday 8 a.m. And then it's going to continue on eastward toward Halifax by Tuesday evening and on into the Atlantic Ocean. Now, total rainfalls within the past 24 hours, we've already seen upwards of 5 inches for New York City. Some places in New Jersey, over 1.5 inches, over 2 inches for Edison, and then kind of New England, Connecticut, Rhode Island areas are up next for that heavy rainfall as the storm continues to move northward, and you can see it is very close to that landfall. Looking at those future rain totals, this is what we can expect in addition to the rain we've already gotten. We're looking at up to 1 inch more for New York, Hartford, Connecticut, maybe 3 inches or so, and then kind of more as this system moves forward, northward, Portland potentially getting up to 1.5 inches. Now, the major concerns from the storm are storm surge, which is going to be up to 4 feet, continued heavy rainfall over the next several days, and damaging winds. We're seeing sustained winds up to 55 miles per hour. Those gusts can be as high as 75. Since it's a tropical storm right now, it's a little bit weaker than it could have been this morning, but still enough to do some significant damage, especially to areas that aren't used to dealing with these kinds of winds. And there is still a slight threat of tornadic activity. Now, that's a 2% chance of a tornado forming within 25 miles of any point within that area, but that is still enough to kind of potentially cause a tornado or two. So we'll be keeping a close eye on that as the storm approaches landfall.
Thank you for that update, Sarah. And the search continues for a missing 2-year-old child who went missing and presumed drowned in the Allegheny River in Tudiute Saturday morning. The child's mother, Patty Vargason, sent us these photos of Izzy, the little girl who is missing. She just turned 2 on August 3rd. According to state police and family members, older siblings left a gate open and Izzy got out of the house Saturday morning with her 3- and 5-year-old siblings. The toddler apparently fell into the swollen river about 3 miles upstreet from Tudiute. Search teams, divers, dogs, and state police helicopters spent yesterday searching without any success. Izzy's mother I talked to Izzy's mother this morning, and she says the search resumed at 10:30 this morning, and a handful of community members are also helping in the search effort by taking their own boats out to look. Izzy was last seen wearing a diaper and Minnie Mouse underwear Saturday morning. Homegrown star Pat Monahan and his famous band Train were back in town to play Erie Insurance Arena last night, and fans showed up for the first Train concert here in a decade. This was also the first big concert in the arena since COVID-19. Fans were encouraged to wear masks for the show, and all event staff wore masks the entire time as well. The band played some fan favorites, and some people we talked to were excited for a sense of normalcy and for a hometown favorite. This was the first time being at a concert for one young fan we talked to who says she's a huge Train fan, and she was excited to hear him play her favorite song.
I'm very excited about it because I like the song so much.
Yeah, we have masks with us. We'll see once we get inside.
We'll see how we feel about it, yeah.
I like masks though.
But we're hoping for some normalcy in our life again. So.
Fans told us they're already looking forward to more live shows as the year goes on. The Pittsburgh Steelers took on the Detroit Lions in preseason action at Heinz Field Saturday night. Mike Ruzzi reports from Pittsburgh on the COVID-19 safety measures in place for the 2021 season. Mike?
Fans that are already vaccinated won't have to wear a mask when entering Heinz Field. But for unvaccinated fans, according to CDC regulations, they will have to wear a mask inside.
Masks are not required in the upper or lower bowls of the stadium, as well as outside club seating.
Their policy is fantastic, and it does make sense. If you're in closed places, you have to wear a mask. If you're not, you don't have to wear a mask. If you're not vaccinated, you have to wear a mask. I think it's common sense, and I think it's a good policy for the Steelers.
Prior to the game, the Steelers, in partnership with Giant Eagle and Heinz Field, offered free COVID-19 vaccinations.
To me, I think it's up to each individual person to do what they want to do.
You're comfortable going in?
Yes. Yeah.
Other changes this year, all tickets will be paperless. You'll have to do it all from your smartphone. And for the first time in stadium history, Heinz Field will be cashless. You'll need those credit cards to buy souvenirs. From Heinz Field, Mike Ruzzi, Erie News Now.
And tailgating also returned. Fans can visit the tailgate zone just outside of Gate A at Heinz Field. The Crawford County Fair kicked off yesterday and is continuing on in Meadville today at the fairgrounds on Dixon Road. Saturday was Community Day at the fair, and highlights included the full pool truck and tractor pull. In spite of concerns about the spread of COVID-19 in Crawford County, you can clearly see people turned out for the truck and tractor pull and for lots of food, ice cream, lemonade, and so much more. There was also an artisan craft fair and fair sale. Today's theme is Take a Step Back in Time, and events include a building dedication, the Fair Queen crowning, and fireworks. The fairgrounds are open from 10 a.m. until 10 p.m. Special Olympics Erie resumed activities yesterday for the first in-person event since February of 2020. Eastway Lanes hosted the Western Bowling Qualifier. Bowlers from 6 counties, including Erie and Crawford, competed in a 3-game set. Top bowlers advanced to the USA Games in Orlando, Florida. 25 bowlers participated in person, while others took part virtually. Getting back to regular training and competition is a big boost for these athletes.
I think everybody's just ready to get back into the swing of things, and we have our fall events are coming up, so we have some training going on throughout the county of Erie, and hopefully we'll be back in person and back together again.
It was challenging, but it was very fun. I mean, had a good game plan. I just had to thank everyone that does it around here.
Our Mike Ruzzi, a volunteer for local Special Olympics, along with some PA state troopers, handed out awards following the competition. Thank you so much for joining us for the Erie News Now Weekend Nowcast. Tune into Erie News Now for the latest news, weather, and sports starting tonight at 6 o'clock. Have a great day.